to win this. 4-wide salute to the crowd. The 1998 QVR Australian Sprint Car Championship is about to become a reality. It's been a fantastic effort on the part of Bunbury City Regional Raceway. Just look at the grandstand. And I don't care what form of motorsport you follow, there is nothing in the world that compares to a 4-wide salute of sprint cars. We are set. It's going to be a beauty. Cricky and Dumsney. Trevor Green out of 3. Brooke Tatnell from 4. Robbie Farr from 5. From 6 is Gavin Migro. Good effort from him. From 7 is Rush. From 8 is Murphy. We are underway and racing into turn 1 and 2. There is Farr. Rush trying to go forward. Max Dumsney is your leader in the Australian Sprint Car Championship. Carves the groove. That car is going forward. Oh, onto the main straight we go. Yellow, Mark Wells. We go red, in fact. Mark Wells has come unstuck down the back straight. Everybody keen to get back to the infield area and get the pit crews just to go over their cars. I don't know what happened to Wellsy then, but he's ended up a good distance on the infield. Ooh, look at this. Flipping backwards onto the infield. Now, these, I'm told, really hurt when you're going backwards like that. And done a fair bit of damage to the car by the looks of things too, which is disappointing for Wellesley. I mean, he was one of the favourites. He's starting further back than he had been hoping for. But he's A-OK, which is the good news. But flipping backwards is not fun for anybody. There he is. Very dejected, one would well imagine. One of his best chances for Australian Championship victory, although last year at Parramatta he was particularly impressive too. I think one of the best West Aussies that went over there. So once again, Dumsney has to do it from the outside with Ron Cricky on the inside. Trevor Green, gee, that outside groove works well. Tatnell down, up high, Rush going forward. Gets Brooke Tatnell and goes out after Trevor Green. Oh, trouble here. Shane Cricky has crunched the wall in turn number 1. And we go red again. And by the looks of the front end of that car, he's gone in very hard. Crash crew quickly onto the scene. Let's have a look back. We just catch the end of this. And he's drilled the wall very hard in turn 1 and 2. You can see the front end is just limp at the moment. It'll come back down. Broken rods and panhard bars and all sorts of stuff in there. Oh, look at the front end. I wonder whether the chassis is badly damaged. They've got the car back on all fours. Shane's about to get out. An appreciative crowd, but he's given the wall a fair shot. Look at that. He's drilled the concrete. I mean, that is a big hit. When you take that concrete out like that, and Shane's a big boy too, you can see he's very broad across the shoulders, and he's taken a hard ride. Restart number 3. Ron Cricky and Max Dumsney champing at the bit at the front row. All the while the tension grows with every restart. Away we go. Max Dumsney again to the lead. Tatnell going to the outside of Ron Cricky. Priolo down low. Martin up high. Jackson coming forward. More trouble. 2 cars upside down. This time it's Dean McComb. And I think that's Andrew Shirley up against the wall in turn number 1. Well, Andrew Shirley about to get out of the car. What a shame for the Queenslander. In fact, both of them Queenslanders. Shirley was doing very well this weekend. That is a shame. Acknowledges the crowd. Looks pretty relaxed about the whole situation, really. Dean McComb won't be happy. Neither will Curran and Reeve Cruck. Fair bit of damage to the Titan Garage is number 36. And, picture tells the story. 4 restart. Look at this. Feverish activity here on the Shane Cricky car. Now, the Kendrick team have come over to lend a hand here. They've gone for a new wing. Now, you have to think this is optimism. Surely there'd be too much damage to get restarted. Attard is going to change a wing by the looks of things. Oh, there is Shirley's car. Badly damaged by the look of it. The Lucas Oils 95 Maxim. They've done a lot of racing this year. Back at the restart. Ron Cricky, will he get Dumsney's measure this time? Dumsney's been way too quick in the early going. Ron this time could have the measure. Max is out there. No! Ron Cricky denies him. Well, shrewdly held Dumsney up track. Max is going to stay out there. You can see the track is freshly. Oh, Brooke Tatnell now bites it in turn number 3. Well, this is amazing. This will make 5 restarts, all of them red lighters. And Brooke Tatnell's gone upside down after contact with Trevor Green. Well, if you know anything about sprint car racing, you know that the intensity in the rivalry between these two is unmatched in sprint car racing at present. And Brooke goes in hard into turn number 3 with the Shell Helix Keeley & Associates number 8 car. and there appears to be a fair bit of damage there. Trevor Green didn't go upside down. It'll be interesting to see whether he copped too much damage in that exchange. And we still have not got a lap in. The Shell Helix number 8 car being craned onto the infield. And there is Brooke. Disgusted, one would well imagine. Paul Jackson offering a few words of support, but it isn't going to help. And Brooke Tatnall sees his Australian Championship go out. Trevor Green is just changing a front wing by the looks of things. The team have been able to repair there. What's interesting is if you look around the crew shirts, Andrew Shirley's team helping out Trevor Green. Everybody's in it to help everybody else. Shane Cricky, this is amazing. The team have got the car repaired. That is a super job. There is a problem, however. The officials are saying he cannot restart due to the fact that the reserve has already been called in. Now, you would have thought, as the team did, due to the fact that they have not completed a lap, they should be able to restart. Now, here is the team owner, Peter Cricky. The amount of money he's put into sprint car racing over the last 10 years. He's about to give it to the stewards in no uncertain terms. He's got the trigger finger out, and he is laying it down. And the crew have done, the sad part is the crew have done a sensational job to get the car back out there. Well, Max Dumsney is probably not going to be held up high any longer. Away we go. Ryan Cricky down low. Max has definitely got the better start. Migro into the third spot. Rush in fourth, has been coming forward all the while. Priolo sitting in behind him in fifth. You can see how freshly prepared the track is because the guys are cutting wet grooves in it. There is Ron Cricky. Max has got this car going forward. Look at it. Laying over on the left, driving hard out of the turns. Ron is back in the second spot. Gavin Migro having a good run, and Max is gone. Turned up the wick here. The Valvoline number 5 up on the cushion, putting this car anywhere he cares. Migro having a great title. Second highest points after the first night. Qualified in the top 8. Now to be running third, just ahead of Gary Rush. It's going to be very, very pleasing for the gas man from Bayswater. Here is Ron Cricky. Can the fairy tale happen? Will Ron Cricky be able to run down Max? Gee, look at the lead he's opened up. I bet even Max would be surprised if he could see the distance he's got over Ron Cricky just at the moment. Into turn number 1 and 2. Well, Ron at the moment's got to remain composed. He's got to know that lap traffic is not too far around the corner. Max is definitely tearing away from him. There is Madsen. He said he's going to hang it on the wall or go forward. Trevor Green had to go to the rear for his part in that stoppage with Brooke Tatnall. Madsen has cut a tyre on 2 occasions so far. He cut the left rear and then the right rear. He's had to go to the rear twice. So now Dumsney coming up to put a lap down on Adar. Gee, it didn't take long, did it? Hiking the left front wheel. Max is going forward in every direction. There is Rush. Back in the 4th spot, about to try and make a move on Gavin Migro. Migro's got a good run going here. Adard slips through on the inside of Shane Cricky, who's running under protest. And Dumsney's realising he can't afford to mess around with Adard too long. Skip Jackson and Shane Murphy. Skip desperately trying to come forward. Be a big result for Skip if he's able to win this title, because he really started back in position 14. Wouldn't have made him happy. Madsen gets Trevor Green now. Phil Marsh just up ahead with Shane Martin, who half spins onto the infield. John Cricky just ahead. Robbie Farr has come from the rear of the field too. And Max still unable to get past Adard. Can't afford to mess around too long. Ron Cricky is back there. Ooh, see the car get up on its haunches, then he just banged the cushion and the car stiffened right up. Well, has Ron Cricky been able to make any ground while Max is unable to get past Adard? Pete goes high. Dumsney's still unable to get past. Now, I don't think that Dumsney will be panicking, but he certainly be sensing the urgency. He's running really high into turn number 3, and here comes Ron. Well, Dumsney's got to realise soon he's going to get the move on. He goes to the outside on Adard. Will this be enough this time? Ron Cricky still looks very settled. Doesn't look like he's really out driving the car. Looks like he's allowing Max to dictate the pace. He hasn't really got a choice because Max is just blowing away. Migro just ahead of Rush now. Gary Rush really starting to come. And Migro at the same time is peeling in Ron Cricky. So we could have a good 4-way battle for the lead if they can just ping Dumsney. Rush going out after Migro. The Rally Revegetation Services car. Madsen into the wall. Oh, cartwheels into the air. Oh, Ron Cricky goes through. Migro goes through as well. There's contact back up the track. Well, Madsen's gone in hard. Migro is upside down. Well, Ron Cricky, I think, spiked the brakes to miss Peter Attard, who'd done the same thing. Migro, look at the fuel pouring out of the back of that car. There is Ron Cricky up against the wall. And what this means is Migro's almost certainly out. Ron Cricky will have to go to the tail. Look at the racing spirit pouring out of the tail. Migro gets out of the car dejectedly, doesn't even look back. The pain must be enormous for him to be running third and looking so strong. And that car was losing a lot of racing fuel. Migro walking away, hasn't it? Oh, look at this, up in flames. They've turned the car back over and she's gone up big time. Well, on the infield there was one of the guys who's been responsible for working with Gavin so much this year, Gary Warren, originally out of Victoria. And the crew's quick to put the flames out, but Migro's deal goes up in smoke, literally. Look at Madsen, just runs up too high on the track, just gets up against the wall here, brushes the wall, and almost got out of it, but it sucked the car in, and bang, he starts cartwheeling out. Lucky no one drilled him when he was in midair. Ooh, you see his head stretched down then inside the belts. A couple people got some good shots of that. Now here is the incident here. Attard goes by, he hits the brakes, Ron Cricky spins to avoid him, and Gavin Migro's got nowhere to go. And here is where Madsen comes crashing back to the track. We've got another look at it in a minute, and you'll see how far Madsen's body stretches. Now, here is Kerry, unbelievably trapped underneath the car. The tow truck has pulled the car forward, and Kerry has been pinned underneath the left rear wheel. It's amazing scenes. Here is Ryan Cricky standing nearby, a good friend of Kerry's, while crews assist him. He's okay, but what a dramatic moment that was. Okay, we'll let the restart. Max Dumsney oblivious to what happened behind him, and now Gary Rush, long-time adversary, sits behind him. In third is Skip Jackson. Well, how Skip Jackson's fortunes have changed. Unbelievable. The second and third respectively placed cars have just been crashed out. Skip Jackson now moves himself up into third, but he's a diligent worker, isn't he? He'll just keep peppering away. Dumsney. There is Phil March, who started out of position 12. Has got himself up into fourth. That's a good result for South Aussie. Out of turn number 2, Rush trying to run down Max Dumsney. It's a tall order. Maxwell Motors, number 3. Les March Autos, number 3 of Phil March. His dad would be very proud of him this weekend. He's done a fabulous job. Unfortunately, of course, his father and his mum and a good friend and engine builder John Lewis lost their lives several years ago in a light plane accident. But if they were here this weekend, they'd certainly be proud of their boy Phil. Into turn number 1 and 2, there is Skip Jackson. Hard at work and going forward, I think. Rush just ahead of him. In fact, Max hasn't got away as far as I thought he would have. Has Rush got enough left in the tank? You talk about fairy tales. Ron Cricky has gone to the tail and has really lost the sting and the intensity that he had. I don't think he rates himself a chance from here, but Gary Rush, 20 years on, could he score victory again at Bunbury City and Regional Raceway? Here they come into turn number 3. March running very solidly tonight, up into fourth. And Rush trying to run down Max Dumsney. There he is, our race leader in the shot, the Valvoline. Number 5 Protect car. Skip Jackson and the Skilled Engineering O'Brien Aluminium Jackson chassis. Skip heads back to the States very soon to join up with the Jensen team. He and Max Dumsney have a lot in common there. Gee, you see Dumsney's car drill the cushion. Car got very stiff coming out of the turn. Max appears to be putting it wherever he wants. A couple of puffs of blue smoke. I don't want to wish anything unfortunate on him. Gee, right up on the cushion. Rush is running in complete contrast. Gary Rush is running on the bottom and Max is right up on the cushion. Let's have a look and see how it fares for him. He's coming up the traffic again and Rush is still there. He hasn't played his cards yet. Lap cars is where Dumsey's got to be careful. Attard about to go a lap down. Skip Jackson with him. Trevor Green trying to work his way forward after going to the tail and being involved with Brooke Tatnell in that rollover. And Skip trying to work the heavy clay. Zips back across the bottom on Attard. Nothing wrong with that engine that Skip Jackson's got, but stacked up against Peter Attard, you really have to have all your ducks in a line when you go for a pass on Pete. Skip still in third. South Aussie Phil March in fourth. South Australians have acquitted themselves very well this weekend. Between March and Trevor Green, they've been very solid. Chas Calandra lost an engine the night before. Otherwise, he could have been right up there as well. And Max, let's just study his form. Kicks it in, a couple of minor alterations to the line. Robbie Farr is coming forward. Moves underneath John Cricky. Good result for John Cricky. Robbie Farr, who cut a tyre in one of those restarts, had to go to the rear, and he's making his way forward in no uncertain terms. Been a lot of guys doing that. Rush still on the bottom, searching for a little bits of moisture, while Dumsney's prepared to go upstairs and chase the cushion. Robbie Farr back in the top 10 now, and trying to pull himself up. He'd really need a restart here. Rush, I don't know whether he needs one. Trevor Green just ahead of Max, and Gary Rush starting to make a run now. Trevor Green could be the difference. Dumsney moves down low. Where is the Master Blaster? He is right there with Max. Look at this. Rush right down low. Well, Green moved high just at the right moment for Max, but Rush is making a charge here in his final season behind the wheel of the Castrol #2 Sprinter. 20 years on. Could he make it title number 11? He's coming at Dumsney now. What a race. Oh, he got loose there. He got very loose. Adhart, I think, is slowing up against the fence. He might bring on the yellows. Rush lost a lot of ground just coming out of the turn. He got loose momentarily. Dumsney has turned the heat back up. He comes up to put a lap down on Milling now. And Adhart has cut a flat right rear tyre. Well, isn't it all happening now? Rush right on the tail of Max Dumsney. Max would have no clue as to who's sitting in second. He certainly wouldn't have any clue as to how close that man was. Rush goes to the bottom. Max, with conviction, sticks the right rear back on the cushion. He knows that's where the car's set. He's faster up there, and he's going to stay there. Jackson in third, March in fourth, Shane Murphy in fifth. And how about the drive from Robbie Farr to come to the back and get back up to sixth. Dumsney still sitting above the cushion. Rush, who was really starting to come. Look at the way the Dumsney car lays over. They've got that car set beautifully. Down the back chute into turn number 3. Rush still in the middle of the track. Well, it seems to be working for him. He hasn't got up on the cushion. Barrett and Rush obviously plan to run through that part of the circuit. John Cricky's done very well. Business-like this weekend. Trevor Green trying to come forward again in the Adrad 4. And Skip Jackson really hasn't been able to go forward the way he liked. In fact, I'd say Skipper put this down as a disastrous weekend by his own standards. Came into the title as the red-hot favourite after winning the World Series Championship and Warrnambool and the King's Challenge. And just about anything else not nailed down. There's a black strip running through the middle of the track now. March ran the right rear right through it. Rush has now moved up a little higher on the track, realising there's not as much moisture down the bottom as there was before. March would love to hang on to a top 4 placing. Skip running right through the black strip. That smoke starting to grow just a little. Dumsney still prepared to get up on the cush. Skip running the car very straight. But look at the gap. Back to Rush and Dumsney leading him at the moment. Skip's got not much chance of peeling him back in. Rush, if anything, didn't need that restart. It appears that Dumsney's got stronger. Perhaps he knew too that he needed to get on with it on that restart because it brought the field back to him. Running across the cushion. A little bit lower this time. Laps will be getting by. Oh, the lights go out. The track lighting has gone out here. Well, this is amazing. Thank goodness for Des Ferris's big lights that he bought from Parry Field Baseball Field, because the actual track lighting has gone out, and Dumsney will win the race in semi-darkness. Away goes the fireworks. How lucky was the field then? The track lighting going out with 1 lap to go. Almost like Des orchestrated it to get a better effect for the fireworks. I'm sure he didn't. Rush in second, and Max Dumsney, some 6 years on, after winning his first title in Tasmania, Rush pulls up alongside him to congratulate him. That's a great moment in sport. That'll give Max a huge buzz. Look at the crowd in the background. They're going absolutely ape. Dumsney pulls up. He's got to get the Australia 1 sticker plastered onto the side of the car. Special moment for him. Great drive from Phil March for 4th. Gee, that could have been dramatic if Des didn't have those big lights. Place could have gone into complete darkness, and that would have been very dangerous. Well, he's away. He's got the Australia 1 number back on the tail tank. What a proud moment for him. Doing a lap around the track. Listen to the crowd. They are right into it. Max almost adopted as a West Aussie this weekend. Of course, there's a lot of Victorians and a lot of New South Welshmen here. And here comes the Colwickie lap in dedication to Darryl and Jason Cricky, the Cricky boys. And this was synonymous with Polish NASCAR driver Alan Kawicki originally, and it's become almost a cricky lap here at Bunbury. And Max coming back in front of a packed house, and look at all the crews. That's not his crew. That's just the crews from the other teams. Very popular competitor in sprint car racing, and everybody's keen to see him do well. Phil March, a great job, finishing fourth. Skip Jackson in third, and Gary Rush in second.
March, a hard-earned fourth place.
Thanks, Wade. I told you we'd go forwards.
A lot of carnage out there and a lot of pressure on the restarts.
Yeah, it's great for Max. You know, he really deserves it. He was good tonight. Skip did well, and Gary, you know, he's good. We're quite happy with fourth, coming from 12.
Congratulations, well done.
Thank you.
So near yet so far. The restart, you were right there, weren't you?
Yeah, I didn't need that last stoppage, but anyway, that's racing. But well, we did our best, but I got beaten by a great driver.
Yeah, and you guys have had an incredible rivalry over many years.
Oh, he's a brilliant driver. He's very good. But it was good to see Max win it, but Valvoline car, mate.
Well done, a fabulous
people at Castrol head office, they're going to give me heaps about this. People up there too.
Still a fantastic result for you here in Bunbury, and you know, a fitting way to go out.
Yeah, yep. No, it's good.
Well done.
Thanks, mate.
Bailey, you're standing back in the shadows here. Max is in the spotlight, but it's always been a good relationship between you two and the driver and the team that's done things like this.
Yeah, you have your ups and downs, but you still, no matter what really goes on, you work together to strive for what you want, and that's what we wanted.
As a lover of the sport, I bet you were sort of a little bit torn, because you, like a lot of people, wanted to see Rushy do so well, but have your driver out in front probably split you down the middle, I bet.
Yeah, it's a sort of funny situation because, yeah, you'd like to see Gary do well, but this title really probably means more to us because Gary wasn't at the last one we did win, so unfortunately Gary lost out, but we got the chance to beat Gary, win one with Gary. And that's pretty good to us, I think.
Be satisfied, Val. You did a great job. Well done.
Thank you.
Well, here is Max Dumsney climbing up onto the back of the car, and just listen to the crowd. Very popular competitor here in the West, and always has been. I hark back to the days when Max came to Western Australia for the World Series and clocked a 15.88, the first ever sub-16 second lap. And there is wife Melinda, never too far away. Long-time Max Dumsney supporter Tony Landrigan is also there. And he's never too far away from Max. No matter where Max is racing, Melinda gives Rushy a hug as well. Yeah, Rushy just saying those lights are a bit awkward, and I don't think that Max realised at the time what happened. Fourth place, Phil March. Fabulous job. From position 12 to 4th, he really advanced and did a great job. Skip Jackson, likewise, coming from position 12 to, or 14, I should say, to 3rd. There he is. He won't be happy. I know he's a perfectionist, but what a great result for him. Rush. I love what he said about it had to be a Valvoline car, and everyone at Castro was going to give him a hard time about that. Beautiful trophies here.
New South Wales, number 7, Skip Jackson, ladies and gentlemen.
Very popular competitor here too in the West. Listen to the crowd response here. Got a Chewy in his mouth instead of a cigarette. And a very satisfying result for Rush. So near, yet so far. The man of the moment, Max Dumsney. Let's join him on the presentation dais.
Totally got me by surprise. I came here this week, said to Skip, I said, Skip, you had a great week. I hope I can kick your ass. Thanks, Skip. But Skip's had a fantastic year. He's been unbeatable. It's an honour to finish in front of him in this race. And almost as big an honour as what it is to finish in front of Gary Rush. Because, as everybody knows, the legend of Australian sprint car racing, it's absolutely great to be up here with you on the last year. It's absolutely fantastic. Along with that, I would like to thank everybody from our crew. They've done a fantastic job. And we've finally done some good to repay these guys for it. Valvoline, they're a top bunch of guys. They've looked after me for a long time. Des, he's put on a great venue. Makes me feel like we're standing here in Knoxville with that grandstand. It's absolutely sensational. Thanks to everybody else for coming along. But all in all, I'm sorry Ron couldn't get up here tonight, but I'd like to dedicate this win to the boys, Daryl and Jason. Less than a year since we hit the funeral. And also great to come here and win this race. I'd also like to thank QVR for sponsoring this event, and everybody here and the boys turned 5 over there. I think that could have been an omen for me. Thanks for building the turn 5 over there from we were on. I'm sorry you couldn't be up here, but that's the breaks. And also I'd like to thank Ron for giving us a car this week with a bit of an omen on it. Gave us a car to drive around in that had the number plate 1AAU 005. I thought if that's not an omen, I don't know what it is. So thanks, Ron.
Well, there are some very happy people. Skip Jackson, Phil March, Max Dumsney and Gary Rush, and that will effectively round out our coverage of the QVR Australian Sprint Car Championship. We are going to catch up with Max directly after this in the pit area. What a title. Congratulations to all.
Congratulations, the 1998 Australian Sprint Car Champion Max Dumsney. That's got to feel good.
It feels great. Do I look like I'm at ease? I feel good.
Yeah, you look pretty relaxed.
Yep.
Were you relaxed throughout the race? I guess you weren't for the first 5 restarts.
Yeah, actually, I was feeling quite tense about all the restarts. It got pretty stressing. Like, I think it was the 6th one that finally got through, and it was great that it happened, but it was very stressing.
4 out of the 5 you won. There was only 1 that was going to cause you grief, but Ron actually got the jump on you.
Yeah, he did on that one. He actually forced me up a little bit too high, and I got out in the loose stuff, and I managed to keep him down the last one, so it worked out well for me.
Puffs of blue smoke from the engine throughout the race. Nothing to worry about?
Yeah, the engine was very hot, very tight. It was actually getting a little tight mid-race. It was lucky we had the stoppage and we got to cool it down a little bit because it was actually slowing down about mid-race. The engine wasn't coming off the corners. It was real tight.
If you could pick a fairy tale way to finish an Australian Championship, I would imagine would have been your win with Rush in 2nd, wouldn't it?
Yeah, and Skip in 3rd, because I respect Skip as well. Like, Skip's done a fantastic job. I taught him everything I knew when he first started racing, and he's come back to haunt me with it. And he probably knows a little more than I do now, but it's great to finish in front of him.
Talking to Bailey, he said this was the most satisfying Australian Championship win for you. Is that right?
Oh, for sure, most definitely. Like, everyone was here. Like, Tasmania, when we won, everyone wasn't there. But this one was fantastic.
Well done, Max. Congratulations. Go and enjoy the win.
Thank you.